Hello everyone, welcome to Daughters of Kavannah. I hope you're well wherever you are in. Yeah, we're gonna dive right into the first question. Before we dive into the question, let me just introduce the founder of Daughters of Kavannah, the beautiful Mrs. Peter. It's Mrs. Peterson,
Mrs.
not
Peterson.
Miss. It's Mrs. Peterson.
Yes.
Mrs. Peterson, and she is my mother in the Lord, and yeah, she is the founder of Daughters of Kavannah. So, Mrs. Peterson, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank
Could you, we'll just get straight into the interview. Could you, in a single sentence, outline what Daughters of Kavannah is?
Okay, so Kavannah means, and it's a Hebrew term that means direction, intention, purpose. So, Daughters of Kavannah is an initiative that God actually put in my heart. It is an initiative that is aimed at actually directing the daughters back to our Lord and Savior, to keep our mind, our thoughts, and our all, I would say, to Him.
So Daughters of Kavannah is about basically girls coming back and women.
Women also, yes. I chose daughters because I didn't actually specifically put an age there. So it would be anyone who has an understanding of who the Lord is. So it can be from a young age to someone older.
Okay.
Yes, so it actually covers the whole spectrum, all the ages.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Is there any reason why you were gender specific?
Well, for me, with what I'm seeing in the world now, I'm seeing that us as women, as daughters, we've kind of become a bit wayward, and that is what God had actually put in my heart, that I am seeing that my daughters are actually going down the wrong path. So I want someone who can actually try and help them, help them to come back to me. That's why it was gender specific.
Oh, that's why it was gender. It's beautiful. The world is going, like a lot of girls, I believe, we don't have mentorship.
No.
We don't have mentorship at all, and therefore we are going with whatever the world brings to us. But I do believe that God has a specific design of how the woman's life is supposed to be.
Yes.
So I do believe in your initiative. Why do you think it's important to have a relation? Why do you think it's important for a woman, particularly whether young, in their teenage years, as an adult? Why do you think it's important for a woman to have a relationship with God?
I think it's because of our identity, knowing who we are, not what society defines us as, So we've seen that women, mostly we are told who we are by society, Over the ages, society has actually changed over the years, but it's society that actually determines who a woman is. So I think if we actually knew our identity in the Lord and why He made us, the purpose why He made us, I think that's why it's important to have a relationship with Him.
Because God is our maker.
Yes. So for us to know who we are, we actually have to know our maker. It's like a manual. You need a manual to actually know your functions. So someone else cannot tell you your functions, because they do not know how you were made. So that I think that's why we need to know the Lord. We need to know to have a relationship with God.
Sure, that's so beautiful. You spoke about functions. Like if you don't know your maker, you will not know how to function.
Yes,
and you didn't make yourself. Society didn't make you. So God is the one with the manual, because He's the manufacturer. He's the manufacturer.
Yeah, so He can tell you why He manufactured you the way He did.
Sure.
Only He has the manual, not society.
And a lot of us are being left in the hands of society. Society is saying that this is the role of a woman.
Yeah.
And because of society, so society has such a loud voice that we are losing touch with our maker.
Yes, that's true.
Even with Daughters of Kavannah, it's just coming back to
the Lord.
To the Lord.
So you can understand your purpose, the reason why He made women. the reason why he made you and put you on this earth. Because it's not a mistake.
It's
Fine,
not.
there are some who say we came by mistake, but to God it's not a mistake. Because he appointed that specific time, he appointed your parents. It might be a mistake to them, but it wasn't a mistake for him.
It wasn't he. Sure.
Yes, because remember it says in the Bible that before you were born, I knew you in your mother's womb. So obviously he knows.
He knows.
He knows. Before you were born, he designed you for that specific time. So that's also the reason why I chose Esther as an inspiration.
Sure.
You know, because she was born at a time that was specifically designed for her. Even though the Jews were in captivity, she became queen. These were people that were looked down upon. But she surpassed all these women to become a king in a foreign land.
Sure.
And she was the reason why the Jews survived in Persia. Because she was, God had actually made her to be in that position at that particular time to save his people.
Sure. And you know, when you're talking about Esther now, with Esther's story, she was an orphan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, she was. She was being, she was raised by her uncle, you know, and her uncle was a scribe in the king's palace.
Sure.
Yeah.
So her story. So Esther, we should draw the inspiration. Daughters of Kavannah also was inspired.
It was inspired
by the story of Esther. It's such a beautiful story. And if you haven't read the book of Esther yet, please check it out, read it, so that you also understand the context in which we're speaking from. And I have a few personal questions here.
Okay.
So that we can also get to know you and understand you, because I believe that we're going to be under your leadership now. You're going to be paving the way and modeling womanhood to us. So what have been some of the hardest lessons God has taught you in your relationship with him?
I think one was actually listening to him and leaning on him, you know, because I was pregnant out of wedlock, you know, and that was one of the mistakes, you know, that you make, you know, and it was because I didn't want to listen to what the Lord was telling me, you know. I was young, foolish, naive, you know,
the ignorance of the youth.
The ignorance of the youth, you know. We are told, you know, when you read, especially for us girls, we love reading novels, you know. So you have this concept in your mind when you start dating someone, you know, it's all fairy tales and
it's
you know, butterflies and everything. You know. Yeah, I think that's I let society actually, you know, all those kind of things to actually determine the choices that I made.
Sure.
And I kind of suppress God's voice in me, because I as far as I can remember, even when I was young, I always had that, you know, that voice that speaks inside of me. I don't know how to explain it, you know, but I always had that voice, you know, as if, you know, I'm actually having a conversation with myself inside, you know, internally, where I can hear someone telling you, no, this what you're doing is wrong, and you know how it's going to end. Yeah, but then,
it's going to end.
Yeah, but as humans, we have that rebellious nature in us. We all want to do things our own way, you know, because we think we know better than that voice that we have. Because he said he lives in us, right?
Sure.
So that voice that you hear inside actually telling you or warning you most of the times, you know, because as human beings, we do know right from wrong.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
do.
That's
we do. And it's a lie if someone tells you that I didn't know what I was doing. It is a lie. That is a bold-faced lie. You know? Yes, the devil can come and put thoughts in your mind, but it is through your free will, because that's why God gave us a will. So you choose what you want. So he can put a thought in your mind, but the action comes from you. The will to do something comes from you. You see? So that day was, you know, I was young, I was naive, stupid. Yeah, I'm going to admit that, you know, and, you know, guy came and say all the right things.
Everything that you want to hear.
Everything that you want to see. Nothing's, he would bring all, the stars. He would give you the stars and the moon. Yeah. And then things happen, but he was always there telling me, what you're doing is wrong.
It's what you're doing is wrong.
Even after I heard that, he told me that, even if it was a mistake, but a child is also a gift from me, So don't take it to heart, because I've already forgiven you for what you've done. I think that's how I was able to go through this whole thing. And I also had a family that supported me, and people around me that actually supported me.
That supported you and did not
they didn't ostracize me, they didn't judge me, because we have seen that the church actually does that now.
Quite a lot.
Because when someone falls pregnant under your leadership, you should ask yourself why. And also, I think it's best to actually find out the reason. Because most of the times there's a root, something there that causes them to rebel. Something, either they're seeking attention, they're seeking
daddy issues.
Yeah, they've got daddy issues. Their father was not around. They're not getting enough attention at home. And when they do get attention, they kind of want to hold on to it, but in a wrong way.
Sure.
You see,
that is so true.
And especially in society now, we've seen that people have leaned onto their own understanding now. It's more of self than anyone else. It's always about how I feel, how something that I'm doing, what it makes me feel. It's all about me. It's not about, when we grew up, they used to tell you that it takes a community to raise a child. And I think that's why I the way we grew up and the way that kids are growing up now, it is so completely different.
It is.
It is so different.
Is. Sure.
Because even my neighbor can reprimand me if they saw me doing something wrong. But now you can't do it.
You can't do that, because now it's like it's viewed as a sort of, you're not my
child.
You're not my.
Oh,
you're
not my parent.
You're not
exactly.
My parent.
It's I don't know where we went wrong, or where we actually what can I say,
where we missed
the mark. Because now it seems like society is breeding people that are just for themselves. This is my child, I will teach my child, but it's not all about you. You need people that are even wiser than you. Someone who's older, someone who's been there, to actually help you raise a child. That's why they say it takes a village to raise a child, you see, because someone else may come with a solution, with a problem that you have, and you can't actually solve that problem on your own, you see. So that's the problem that we're having now. And we also have a problem where parents are not involved in their kids' life. We've got the internet, we've got smartphones, we've got everything. So parents now just give their kids internet, they give their kids phones, and the kids, the phone and the internet is going to raise the child for you. Of which it doesn't happen like that. That's why we see what society is becoming now. Especially women, especially girls. Especially young girls. Because they lean more on, education through social media.
TikTok, all of these
and it's mostly from entertainment, all these celebrities that we see. They put out this persona, this image out there. And that image, if you see it, it's not something that you actually want your child to actually emulate, something that you want them to do, But then we've got parents that are not even concerned about those kind of things. We're letting our celebrities, our entertainment, the social media actually raise kids now.
That is so deep. We're letting social media raise our kids, and that's why that's why we find ourselves where we are as a society. We find ourselves with, so social media is dictating how young girls dress.
Yes.
Social media is dictating how
Your behavior,
how we behave.
your lifestyle.
My lifestyle, you know, it's dictating so much.
Yes, because young kids, you know, kids actually, you know, when kids are growing up, they tell you that, you know, monkey see, monkey do.
So whatever they get,
whatever they're seeing, you know, and if they don't have the proper guidance to actually tell them, no, yes, you see this in society, right? But it is not the right way to do things. So if we don't have those mentors, if we don't have those parents, you know, they will stray. You see? So now we've got monkey see, monkey do, but the doing part is the wrong things that they're doing. Because when you get celebrities actually raising your kids, you know, they're doing it in a place of fame, you know, when they're luring them into this what can I say, the society, you know, this and it's not something that you'd actually want your child to grow in, you know. You find half naked women on stage singing. You know, you find them maybe I've seen the red carpets that they do this these Grammy Awards, this whatnot, and we have them dressed, and most of them are, I can't really say they are dressed.
It's just material that
over. I don't know. I can't really say, and it's like the less you dress now. If I put this right, the less you dress, the more followers that you have. You know, that's why you're finding young girls also imitating the same thing, because for them they think the more, as they call it, sexy, or the more hot I look, you know, I'll have all the attention of everyone, you know. But then the attention that you're getting is not the proper attention that you need, you know, because this attention that these celebrities put out, it's for their fame. It's for them, it's for their fame. It gets them somewhere. You liking them, you buying their stuff, it makes them rich.
It makes them rich. Oh my.
So the more they put themselves out there, the more they become wealthy, the more they become famous, you see. But now I'm just a nobody from a township or wherever that I'm coming from, and you want to imitate that same thing. It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And I guess that speaks to what Daughters of Kavannah are, is that we are doing womanhood God's way. With mentorship.
Yes.
Because I do believe that, I think the voices of the mothers have been silenced over time.
It has.
The voices of the women have been silenced over time, you know, and because of the silence, we are not breaking through.
No.
You know, no one is confronting the issues.
The issues, yes.
No one is coming and saying, girl, this is how you're supposed to dress. No one is coming with that heart. It's usually, it usually comes from a lot of judgmentalness. You know, if the people that are coming, they're coming from a place of, it doesn't feel love. You know, I think one of the things that have helped me in my journey, and seeing you model womanhood, is that you always came with love. Even when I knew that, okay, there's things that you don't tolerate, you would confront them with love. And love can transform. A mother's love can transform so much.
Yes, it's because we were made to be nurturers. You know, we are that soft, warm heart that a child is supposed to get. You know, and that's why the discipline was left to a man, a father. You know, a mother is supposed to nurture you. You know. So we have seen that in society now, we have lost womanhood. You know, that meaning of what it means to be a woman.
Yeah.
You know, what womanhood means, what motherhood means. We have actually lost that thing. You know, some people just think, you know, you give birth and I'm a mother. That's it. You know, yeah, life goes on. But there's a specific way that you were supposed to, you know, nurture your child, your girl child, even your boy child. Yes, because they need that mother's love, and they don't get it the same way from a father. Because have you noticed that when you want approval, it's not from your mother most
You
of
want
the
it
time.
from your dad.
You want it from your dad.
Like
Exactly.
you do.
And what do you want from your mother? You want that love, that
Yeah.
comfort, that even if you make a mistake,
She's
she's always going to be there, to comfort you, she's like that warm hug that you need when you are down, That's what women were made for. Men were made to be stern. They were made to enforce discipline in kids, It helps the child grow and it puts them in a right path. You see?
Yeah.
That's why when you a child passes matric, they pass the most approval that they're looking for.
It's dad.
It's dad.
It's like, what is dad gonna say?
Exactly.
Even me, when I do something right, I'm just like, I just want to hear dad. Then
Yes.
mom, I know mom.
Mom is going to say, she's going to celebrate anytime.
Anytime.
Yes, even if you didn't do well, but she's just going to come there with her comfort words saying, no, don't worry about it. No, you'll do better next time. But dad is always not. What is this?
What is this?
Exactly.
You could have done
You
better.
could have done better, But
Pull up your socks.
with us mothers, we sugarcoat things. That's how we were made.
Sure.
That's how we were made. So, I commend women, single women, for raising kids, But there also needs to be a role model, a male figure in a child's life. Because especially for us girls, they say that your father is your first love.
That's true.
It's so different with girls because I can relate. With my dad, I could get away with everything.
You had a way with
exactly. I had a way of just wrapping him around my finger. Just because I was a girl. It's different when he's. The way he treats my brothers and the way he treats me, it was totally different. So your father becomes your first love. So if you don't have a fatherly figure in your even if you were raised by a single parent, right, a single mother, but there has to be a male figure in your life. It might be your uncle, a grandfather. But there has to be that male figure, who actually shows you what a man, how a man treats a woman, what you expect from a man.
Sure.
So I think that's also the reason why now we have all these problems that we have in our girls.
Right.
If they are raised in maybe single mothers, and most of them, they have that, they want that approval from a man so bad.
Oh, Lord.
That's the whole reason why they become sexually active at a very young age. Because they want that, that male attention from a male figure. Yes, that validation from a male, someone who's male, It doesn't actually, they don't really care if this person is even abusing them. You see,
as long as
it's
closer to dad.
Yes.
Like this is the closest to a father you'll ever be. Yeah, that's so deep. Being a woman is not easy. Though. It's not. Like you go from being a toddler and then you hit your teen years and all these hormones are all over the place. The boys are starting to notice you.
Yes, and you're also starting to notice the boys.
And you're also starting to notice the boys and. Daddy, when you first grow, like daddy is your first love, but then someone else comes into the picture and says what daddy has been saying, and it just sounds different and it feels different, and then you get a bit older, you get into your 20s and you realize that I actually don't know what it means to be a woman. I don't know what it means to be a woman. I don't know how to carry myself. I don't know what to do with myself as a woman. Even the little things, like I just don't know. And I think I was at that point. I'm so grateful to God for bringing you into my life at that point because I was confused. Like I was like, okay, how do you, like even the dressing part,
No, especially in our black society, you don't get to. Yes, our mothers are there. Yes, they love us, but there are those conversations that they never have with
us.
you. Yeah,
never.
So you kind of need, a mentor, who's going to tell you, no, this is what it means to be a woman. You know, if you do this, this might happen. You know, someone to guide you through womanhood. Our mothers are there, but most of the times they actually don't tell us.
They don't tell us. So it's very awkward with them.
It's very
like,
awkward to actually tell them. Yeah.
To be like, okay, so I'm feeling this way and I've developed this. But beyond that, like learning how to honor yourself as a woman, learning how to carry yourself as a woman. I think I've learned a lot from you in just how you do it, like how you carry yourself, how you speak, like your gentleness, you know. The Bible talks about so much about, it doesn't talk much about women, but there are parts where they talk about women, like the Proverbs 31 woman. Like, you know, some of those qualities I have seen in you. Actually, most of those qualities I have seen in you.
Thank you.
In how you do things in the home, how you do things with the kids and and I'm always thinking, I'm so blessed, but someone else's daughter has to at least get the teaching. Like, I've sat down with you and you have mentored me in so many things, even as a professional, you know, like at work, like how to actually handle things at work. And it's been such a blessing, and I my heart is for Daughters of Kavannah, because I think of the next woman who doesn't have the privilege that I have, who's asking themselves a lot of questions like, how do I do this? I find myself in this state. I'm in a relationship and this is what's happening.
And I don't have anyone to talk to.
I don't have anyone to talk to.
Because when you get into a relationship, the way we grew up was, you know, it's that conversation that you never have.
You never have until you get married or something.
Yes.
Before that, it's like
you it's something that you keep locked up very tightly. You know, they're not supposed to even know that I'm dating at all. Even if they know in their mind, but it's something that you will never talk about. It's like so disrespectful for them, for you to talk about that, you know, I am dating someone. You see?
Lord help us, because how are we going to do this if we don't get advice? And I feel like we get into the wrong places, we get involved with the wrong people. Because you know, I think there's a difference between black people and white people. I've seen that white people are more open with this type of conversation, right? Black people, it's like, it's a taboo. It's like,
exactly, you know, that's your own private. Don't even start with me. Because it's like something so disrespectful for you to actually speak to your mother or your father, especially your dad.
Yeah.
It's like he should never
see you with
a boy.
If he catches
you. You know? So that's the problem that especially us black women have. You know, and black society, because society in our black society, we don't have that openness to speak about these type of things. You know, it's like, no, when you just get to that age, you're supposed to just know it.
You should. It's like a natural development.
It's like they just your puberty. It's just built into you. You should know what is wrong and what is right. But then they what they don't understand is when you get to that time, you know, it's that time when your hormones are all over the place, you know, and you do crazy things very easily. Because you're swayed most of the times by your emotion, you know, about what your body is feeling, you know, about
so many things. You're swayed by people, like sweet nothing.
Exactly. You know, and when you get validation from somewhere else, you know, you want to hold on to that. It makes you feel good.
It makes you feel valued, like you're at least something to someone.
Yes, and you kind of blind yourself to all these other red flags that are going on. Because all you want to hear are these sweet things and nothing else. You know, that's why they say love is blind. You know, when you are in love, as they say, you are blinded. You don't see anything else than what is in front of you or what you want to see in that person.
You know, as you're speaking, I'm just thinking of Eve. And I was just having a conversation over the week with someone that with women are built for, I believe like women are built, we thrive in relationships, in friendships, in all kinds of relationships. We thrive there. But if the parents are not talking, the mothers are not talking to us, it makes it hard for us to function in that. And if society is the one saying that this is how you do it, and now it becomes it's detrimental because with everything that society has given us,
yes.
we have tried to apply it, but to our own detriment.
Yeah.
That's why maybe you find that a lot of women now, there's like the wedlock thing it's actually happening.
Mhm.
Pregnancy at a very
Pregnancy at a
young
very
age.
age,
You know,
yes.
we find our
Because
young teenage girls.
The problem that we have, we want to, what can I say? Because of what?
Conforming.
Yeah, we want to conform into what society says.
Yeah.
You know, and also, you know, the problem is when we have, especially I think young kids in society, when you give them too many rights at a young age and they're not ready for it, they abuse it.
Oh,
You see,
that's good.
when I was growing up, you were a child, you don't have rights.
You don't have a mouth. You don't have a say in the.
You do not have a mouth.
Mm.
You do not have rights. You've got literally nothing. All you have is the privilege of being a child. That's
the
it.
privilege of being a child.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't pay rent. You don't buy food. You nothing. All you have to do is just be a child. And also, I think with society now, kids are getting too much information that they're not supposed to get at a certain age. You know, it kind of corrupts the mind. If you're getting something, it's just the same as when Adam and Eve sinned. You know, because they ate of the fruit. It was not that God didn't want to give them the knowledge. It was not that God didn't want to give them the knowledge. They were not ready for the knowledge at that time. That's why God had put a restriction on them. Do not eat of this tree.
Sure.
You see? So if you give a child information that is prematurely, you are actually destroying their life. So now we've got kids that know about rights. You know? You can't, and I would also put it to our governments. They are actually destroying our youngsters. You know, you cannot give a child rights. They are too young for things like that.
Sure.
They are not mature enough to withstand the weight and the consequences that come with all these things. Because now a parent is forbidden from disciplining their own child. I mean, like, imagine an 8-year-old or 9-year-old telling you that you can't reprimand me. I will call the police for you.
I'll call the police for you.
So exactly what are we teaching our kids? If I cannot teach my child myself, because the Bible says, train up a child in the way you want so that they may not depart from the path when they grow up. So imagine, and it also says, spare
the rod
and spoil the child.
Sure.
So if you do not discipline a child, you are actually destroying their livelihood. So if there's no discipline at all, we are breeding destruction.
We are breeding. These are conversations that we need to have, and I think, sure, these are conversations that we need to have.
Yes, we do. And discipline doesn't mean you hate your child. Discipline doesn't mean abuse at all. Because if you don't discipline your child, right, tomorrow, the same society that's telling you that you can't discipline your child, it's going to be blaming you that you didn't discipline your child properly. But they forget that they have taken the power for a parent to discipline their child and given it to the child.
Oof.
You know?
Oof.
It's like the devil has kind of, what can I say? Yeah, manipulated this. Yeah, you know, what is supposed to happen now is the child is now dominating the parent. Instead of the parent being the one in charge, the child is now in charge, because the parent cannot raise their head without the child telling them that, you know, I'll call the police on you if you spank me or you give me a hiding. But the Bible says spare the child the rod and spoil the child. So if you don't use a rod,
then you're
spoiling the child.
Eish.
You see?
Eish. Oh, it's
because we've got this thing about of gentle parenting. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I was about to get into that everyone wants to be the cool parent.
You're a parent.
You're not supposed
You
to
are
be cool.
not to be cool. You're not supposed to be cool. It's just the same as us and God. We are children in His eyes, right? Who's supposed to be the bigger person there? God, not us. So now imagine if we are telling Him what to do.
Let's not touch on that one. because
what happens on earth mirrors what is in heaven.
Yeah, that's good.
You see, we are supposed to be the ones that guide our children, right? Just as God is supposed to be our guardian. So imagine now if these children are now dominating. What happens? That we tell rebellion on there. That's why we have so many rebellion. The kids are just rebellious in this age. You know, it's rebellion. Imagine the way we grew up. You could never tell your own mother to shut up. Or if your parent tells you go and do something for me, and you tell them you're busy. Like seriously, whose house are you? You're busy with what?
With what?
Exactly. You're a child. Exactly. What are you busy with?
Oh.
That's how we grew up. You know, you do whatever your parent tells you, because without question, and without fail, everything that they tell you, you do it. Because they're the ones who are supposed to guide you. They're the ones who are supposed to be in charge, not you. There is a reason why God made it like that. You know, it's not supposed to be our child. My child now telling me the way I'm supposed to discipline them.
And how you supposed to
And
treat them.
and then imagine this person that you're taking care of. You are paying their school fees. You are clothing them. You are feeding them. You are providing shelter for them. But they are telling you what to do.
That's where we find ourselves.
Yeah, that's where we are now.
That's where we are, man. And you know, you said earlier that now even the things that they being exposed to on TikTok and all these social media platforms, they want to mimic monkey see, monkey do. So they want to mimic it even in their relationships. Or even when you rebuke a child or you rebuke them out of love, no matter how you rebuke them, they feel like they're being abused. And
because why? Because society has told them that. You know, you're not supposed to shout at your child. Verbal abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse. Like seriously. You know, you were given a hiding. And to be honest with you, I can count how many times my mother gave me a hiding. And she was the strict one. My dad was not a disciplinarian. My mother was. But it's less than 5 times she's actually given me a proper hiding. And every time you want to do something wrong, you would remember. You know, because it's engraved in you. You see, that's the thing. You see, God doesn't punish you. You see, so you should know that, you know, if someone is reprimanding you, they love you. A person who doesn't reprimand you or tell you what's wrong and what's right, they don't care about you. Only a person who loves you will tell you when you are doing wrong and when you are going down the wrong path. So if your parent is telling you what you're doing is wrong, it's not that they hate you. They have been in the same situation that you were in. Remember, they're older than you.
So they've walked
They've walked in the same path. Nothing is new in this world. It's all, it's a repeat. It's all a repeat. Nothing is new. So what you are going through is the same thing that your parents went through. And they know better because they've already passed it. So they are actually in a better position to tell you if what you're doing is wrong. Not your friends, not society, not TikTok, not social media.
Sure.
Because when you fall, they are there.
They are there.
When you fall, just, okay, where are all these people that you're following?
And they usually,
they are usually nowhere to be found. Exactly.
Oh,
and some of them will even come and tell you, why did you even do that? You know it was wrong. But we were doing it together. Just because it fell on you, now they're ostracizing you. On telling you that what you were doing is wrong, but we were doing it together.
One more question before we wrap up. What would you say the glory of a woman is?
Well, a glory of a woman is in her beauty, you know, the way we were made. But then it's not just the beauty that society tells you, you know, as in the beauty of what you look like. There's a difference between God's beauty and society's beauty. Society only looks at the outside.
Sure.
Well, God looks at the outside and the inward,
Yeah.
the deeper parts of you, who you are and who you were made.
That's good.
You know, and for women, we were made to be homemakers. You know, a woman or a female, as they call it. I don't know what is wrong with society now that they cannot define what a woman is.
Female. Woman, yes.
A woman, it means a man, but not as in a man, I mean as in a human being. So when we say man, I'm speaking about a human being, right? But a species of human being that was born with a womb inside them. And we were born with a home that is the first home that every human being is housed in. That's how beautifully, you know, that's how fearfully and wonderfully made we were. You know, so don't let society define what a woman is, because a woman was made for that. We were made to house that gift that God gave us, because we were created like God. So like God, we were given that gift of creation.
Sure.
So that creation was supposed to be housed in a woman. That's why a woman was given a womb. So not a trans woman, I'm sorry to say this, I'm not going against any, but when we talk about a woman, we talk about a biological woman. You know, we talk about what God created as a woman, not someone who has gone through surgery to want to feel or want to look like. Someone who was already created as a woman.
Sure. So the glory of a woman is beyond the physical.
It's beyond her physical beauty. It's inward. It's deep. It's the purpose that God made us. You know, the way we were created. That's the glory of a woman.
Oh, that is the glory of a woman.
A woman.
What a way to close an opening. A lot has been said. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
It's going to be a journey. I know for a fact that